Hello everyone, my name is Sonia Sokal and today I'll be talking about the health literacy. To begin with, we need to understand what is the overview of this particular presentation. So today we will be discussing HPE, explore the socio-historical aspect, what are the researchers' definition of HPE, three models and levels of literacy, then its applications in the Victorian curriculum, how HPE is beneficial, and the negative attribution of HPE and my pedagogical stance. Then we're going to conclude with revising every point. Stop! It's very important to think why H in HPE is in parentheses. So it is mainly because health and physical education is a new addition in which it is a constant reminder to integrate health and physical education to maximize learning. Now, what is the definition given by the World Health Organization? So, it defines health literacy as the cognitive and social skills which determination the motivation and ability of individuals to gain access and understand this and use this in different prospects to understand good mental health and gain it. Health literacy is one of the 5 propositions that were established to underpin the development of the ACHPE by ACARA. So why is there a need to understand health literacy? Health literacy can contribute towards closing the apparent differentiation of the society's expectations versus the school's capacity to embed this in the curriculum and make them the teachers and the students understand literacy better. And now, before moving to the definition of HPE, it's very important to understand its socio-historical development. So, McGuay suggests that there were 3 phases: the health instruction, which starts in 1910 to 1950s, in which the promotion of fitness, sobriety, and purity by rich was emphasized, and it is where building health, morality, and character was the main focus. Second, health education, which starts from 1950s to 1980s, in which there was an individualized approach of taking themselves. And the main drawbacks of this individual approach is the victim blaming by Colquhoun and a failure to acknowledge that there are multiple layers of influence. Third, health promotion, 1980s. It is where there was a shift from promotion as opposed to education. And it is explicitly accepted that many determinants of health were beyond control of individual. So there is a central importance to raise awareness and knowledge about it. Now, what are the researchers' definitions of HPE? Snyder says that literacy is a cultural practice and it continues to occupy a privileged position within school curriculum. It was also conceptualized by Freebody and Luke about the 3 levels of literacy being functional, interactive, and critical. Nat Beam in 2000 later applies this perspective to health. He says that the progression from 3 levels would be characterized by greater degrees of empowerment in decision making and engagement with personal and social action that can influence the determinants of health. Wolf, Parker, Radson in 2008 says that it's one's ability to obtain, process, and understand health-related information through websites, policies, food labels, and utilize the information to make appropriate decisions. Moving forward, what are the 3 levels of literacy? The first level is functional, in which it is a ability to comprehend related information and function within health system context, such as using reading and writing. Next is the interactive health literacy. It is the personal communication and social skills which are used to extract and derive information and to act independently and on that knowledge. The last is the very important one, the critical health. So basically, in this literacy, it provides an orientation towards supporting effective social and political action as well as individual action. It is very important that to understand the place of the critical project in physical education was debated in a series of Quest journal papers, with many acknowledging the difficulty of enacting the vision, as said by Teening as well. I personally argued that it is really difficult to define and inculcate it practically. This is my explanation of how I have applied health literacy in the Victorian curriculum. Foundation years. The main content here is the hygiene. It is the functional being they're able to take care of themselves, wipe themselves, clean themselves, wash their hands. Interactive being they are able to research how the digestive system is infected by germs. Critical being going to the community, understanding horticulture and agriculture and how good worms are good for the ecosystem at large. Next, this is grades 1 and 2, and the main content is nutrition. The functional aspect would be what did the students eat? So asking them the question. Then the interactive would be they would be able to prepare their own meals and label the different food groups. Critical being the understanding the detrimental of effects of obesity and raise awareness through going to the community center. Now, in year 5 and 6, the main content is safety. So the functional aspect would be teachers enacting how bad touch would be comprehended and noting down the importance of the periods in the calendar. Interactive could be how exploring reproduction through the modes of periods will take place and the implications of not having periods. The critical aspect would be asking working women about their cramps, how they cope up with the stress in the setting of the office, and asking Victorian Health Department how they can give leverage on period days for the women. For year 9 and 10, the main content is drugs and rehab. The functional aspect being teachers showing through the slides how physical aspect changes, and interactive being searching about the chemical compound, what is the main addictive ingredient that makes the person addictive in that particular substance. And this could be betterly presented with a chemistry teacher. Then the critical aspect is the interaction with the WHO. What are the rehab centers, rehab documentations that are done for the world. Now talking about the advantages and disadvantages of health literacy. First and foremost, the positive aspect of health literacy is that it makes a difference both individuals and communities, as said by MacDonald, Ryan, Rosie, and MacDonald McQuaig. Next, it supports greater empowerment in health decision making, which was said by Freebody and Luke. Third, WHO has adopted a definition of health literacy that reflects health promotion orientation. Similarly, WHO Commission report concludes that removing the numerous barriers to achievement of primary education will be a crucial aspect of action of the social determinants of health. So, it's very important that it will reproduce substantial public health benefits. The disadvantages is basically said by Parker in 2000 that there is a relationship between low literacy levels and declining use of public health information. In regards to this, the U.S. Institute of Medicine says that having poor literacy skills are seen as potential risk factors that needs to be managed in the process of providing clinical care. Assessments also have proven to be vague in health literacy because there is no proper context how students will pass or fail exams. Last but not the least, Hunter has warned the school system has been impoverished by the wealth of expectation invested to it. I resonate with Nutbeam's contextualized autonomy and post-application, which resonates with me. All in all, as a conclusion, so we have discussed about what is HPE, socio-historical context, researcher's definition, levels of literacy, and positive and negative attributions of including HPE. Thank you, everyone.